Hi, my name is Oyster Chef Rivko. I'm gonna teach you how to shuck an oyster in 5 simple steps. Let's get shucking! It's an exciting day. The oyster kit arrives. What's in the oyster kit? We have the oyster tools. We have the ice pack to keep the oysters cold. And of course, the oysters. To clean the oysters, you toss them in the sink and you rinse them with cold water. Then you take them out, put them in a bowl and let them air dry for 5 minutes. Put them in the oyster bag that came with your oyster kit. Put the oyster bag in a plastic bag and close them airtight before you put them in the fridge. Oysters stay fresh for a week if stored like this. I'm gonna teach you the 5 simple steps of shucking an oyster. First, we need a towel. This towel we fold in half and half again, and we put on our non-dominant hand like so. Then we have the Oysters XO Shucker. It has 2 fingerprints, one for the thumb and one for the index finger on the bottom. Now, we take an oyster. An oyster has a cup side and a flat side. The cup side goes down to keep the ocean water inside of the oyster when we crack the hinge. I'm gonna lose the towel for now because I want to show you perfectly how to shuck an oyster. You would always put the towel on your hand between you and the oyster. Now, let's go to step number 1, making a lollipop. Wrap your fingers around the oyster, thumb on top, fingers on the fingerprints, and put the point of the knife into the hinge. Now, pull your oyster hand towards yourself, your oyster knife hand away, and jiggle left and right. So, pull your oyster hand, push your oyster knife hand, jiggle left and right, until you have a lollipop. Step number 2 is cracking the hinge. Cracking the hinge we do by turning the knife like a key in a lock, left and right. So we turn left and we turn right. If it doesn't open, if it budges, we go back to step number 1, pull, push and jiggle a little bit more so that the knife goes deeper into the oyster. Now turn left and now the hinge opens. Step number 3, cutting the top muscle. The top muscle is 2/3 up and a little bit to the right from the hinge. So basically at 2 o'clock. We're gonna keep the point of the knife against the top shell and we windshield wipe the knife to the right to cut the muscle. When we feel that we cut the muscle, we use the thumb of our knife hand to pick up the oyster like so. Step number 4, cutting the bottom muscle. The bottom muscle is 2/3 up and a little bit to the right as well. You can actually see it right there. Now, we turn our hand into our body so that the muscle is right in front of us. Now we only need to make a little incision going underneath the oyster, scraping the shell. Step number 5, cleaning up the oyster, taking the debris out, and we're ready to enjoy a beautiful oyster. Cheers! Let's make the 3 classic condiments for the oysters. For your at-home oyster party, of course. Little lemon juice. I like lemon juice better than wedges because you don't get any messy hands. So let's make the second condiment. It's the champagne mignonette or vinaigrette, whatever you like, or the white wine. We have the white wine today. And so I put a little bit of the vinegar in here. Then you can already put some cracked pepper in there, right there. And it's all about taste. This is my secret ingredient. It's a little bit of white sugar. Now, the shallots. If you make this a day before, it has time to actually brine into the vinegar. Red onion, this is another secret ingredient. This is ready for going into the fridge and using it tomorrow. Done. And nothing as American as a nice fresh cocktail sauce. First, a little ketchup, then a little bit of hot sauce to your taste. Always taste everything to make sure that it's really up to where you want it to be. And then the pièce de résistance, the fresh horseradish. We just put it on top. And this is how easy it is to create an at-home oyster party. It's all on this little menu that comes with the oyster kit. Enjoy!